Namaste, namaste. Welcome to the channel where we make videos about Indian philosophy, yoga, theology, where we reference ancient classic texts like the Upanishads, the Puranas, the Bhagavad Gita, texts that are claimed and that claim themselves to have a purificatory effect on consciousness when you hear them. So, I've been reading these texts for about 30 years, and my life, I strongly believe, would have been way, 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 way worse. Way, a lot more anxiety, a lot more fear, a lot more heartbreaks if I hadn't, read these texts on a regular basis. So if you're interested in Indian philosophy, and if you have even a little bit of faith in not just my words, but the claim that these ancient Vedic scriptures have this immense potency to keep one peaceful and happy, and what to speak of, extirpating one from the cycle of birth and death, of getting liberated from repeated birth and death, from escaping the samsara cycle, as it's called, then please do subscribe, because there's not that many channels out there on YouTube that are like this one. So we're going over famous prayers found in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the text that is considered to be the ripened fruit of all the Vedic literatures. And we're in Canto 10, where Devaki is this soul who, according to the Bhagavatam, played the role of God's mother, right? And so she prays, she composes these beautiful prayers. And here's one that talks about the theory of avatars indirectly. So listen to this. The Sanskrit goes like this. Yasyam sham shamsha bhagena vishvotpati layo dayaha bhavanti kila vishvat mams tam tvadyaham gatim gata. And so here's the translation. The translation goes, "O soul of all that be." So Devaki's praying to God, right? And so you could repeat the same prayer. It'll be a perfect prayer for you. She says, "O soul of all that be." Right, so God is the idea is God, is within everybody, but He's also the soul of everyone and of everything. O soul of all that be, the creation, maintenance, and destruction of the universe are all carried out by who or by what? By a fraction of an expansion of an expansion of your expansion. So here's this idea that, God's the creator. God, manifests. It's so funny because tomorrow I'm giving a lecture on a passage from the third book of the Bhagavatam, which deals exactly with that, the description of, the material cosmos as it is created, maintained, ultimately by Lord Vishnu. And in this verse, Devaki here in the 10th canto is saying that, Vishnu is but an expansion of an expansion of an expansion of Krishna. So she says, they're all carried out, right? Creation, maintenance, and destruction by a fraction of an expansion of your expansion. And then she finishes, "Today I have come to take shelter of you, the Supreme Lord." So it's an important verse because she's claiming that Krishna specifically, is the avatari, the origin of all other avatars. Now, if you go to South India, and you go to Vishnu temples in South India, they'll claim that no, Krishna is the first avatar or the first expansion of Vishnu. That Vishnu is actually the Supreme Lord, right? And that Krishna is his first avatar. And when you go to, when you listen to or when you go visit North Indian Vaishnavism, then it's the other way. It's the flip side, that Krishna is the original Supreme Lord. His form is the original form of God, and that, Vishnu forms are his first expansions. Ultimately, it's not really important because both schools totally agree 100% that Krishna and Vishnu are exactly the same person. It's just like God, God in his country house, or at the, in the country, in the countryside, and God at work, at the office. But it's the same God. It's the same Supreme Person, the same Supreme Lord. But, there's this like technical element of theology that you really don't find in other world scriptures, where, okay, God's the creator, but technically speaking, it's not exactly like God, the original form of God. It's his first or second or expansion of the expansion of an expansion of your expansion. So like 4 avatars out. And in an ultimate sense, that shouldn't be important for you. Like, who cares? Like, if you accept that, or believe that there's a God and he creates, maintains, and destroys the universe, and perhaps, that God is Lord Vishnu or Krishna, then it's really a detail that you shouldn't sweat, exactly how, like precisely how that Supreme Lord, creates, maintains, and destroys the universes. But it should inspire you. It should inspire you. Like the details found in the Bhagavad philosophy should inspire you to appreciate the greatness of God and to appreciate how original he is. Like there's this saying, either the sages who so-called had realizations and wrote down these ancient Vedic scriptures, either either that proves that God has an amazing originality, an amazing sense of imagination, or these sages were taking some seriously good drugs. And obviously we accept the former, right? So in the ultimate sense, these are just details, and what really counts is the essence. But in another sense, these small details kind of bring charm to the whole story, to the whole table. So as I always say, we're lucky to be in contact with these books. By the way, we can find them in the description to this video. And if we don't read these books on a regular basis, we really should, because we can be strong and feel connected and a lot less fearful, a lot less in anxiety, if we make it a point to bathe our consciousness in these ancient sound vibrations, in these ancient scriptures, and these beautiful theological concepts about God. Thanks for watching. Take care. Om Tat Sat.